The Lunar Glide 9. Is it me, or does that sound like a NASA space probe from the 70s? So this is the Nike Lunar Glide 9, and it's a damn good looking shoe in my opinion. This is a road shoe, this is a stability shoe as well. In terms of the stability, make no mistake, this is a proper full-on stability shoe. As soon as you put this on, you will be feeling the stability component of it. It's not subtle at all. If you want robust stability, yeah, this is definitely gonna fit that bill. In a UK size 11, this comes in at 314 grams or 11 ounces, which actually is pretty light. The heel to toe drop is 10 millimeters, and the flexibility, yeah, again for a stability shoe, pretty good, pretty good. And normally at this point, I would mention that it's got a rubber outsole or something like that, but this doesn't really have an outsole as such. The midsole is also the outsole, which is different. It's called Lunarlon. It's their material for this, and we shall get into the midsole in a little bit. The upper is a breathable knit with the fly wire lacing, looking very fetching there in the sort of luminous yellowy green colour, and we have quite a distinct heel cup here in a sort of plasticky type of material. So let's get into what's great and what is not so great about this shoe. Well, let's start talking about this midsole and outsole or lack thereof. This thing rides beautifully, and beautiful and riding in a stability shoe is not something I would normally say, but it is so true for this. It seems maybe silly to say, because maybe it's, you know, from the ministry of the bleeding obvious, that when you remove a thick layer of rubber, which most shoes normally have here, that you're going to get more feel from what is going on under your foot. And I know that is probably, as I say, stating the obvious, but you really do. You feel much more. But not only do you feel what is going on under your foot, the cushioning in this is lovely. It really is. It's very difficult to describe, and it has a very distinct feel when you run in this shoe. It really does have a unique ride, which I really like. It's cushioned, it's lovely, it's got some nice energy return to it. As I say, you feel the ground with every stride, you feel what's going on. I haven't, surprisingly, had any issues with grip. I mean, because I always think, oh, you need the rubber outsole, A, to protect the midsole, but also to help give you grip in treacherous conditions or bad conditions or whatever, you know, the wet. But this thing hasn't slipped. I've been out in rainy, horrible weather, and yeah, no problems. It just worked fine. I don't know how these weird pod design things work with all their little creases and bits, and yeah, to me it's just witchcraft voodoo magic. I can tell you it does work, and I can tell you it works really well. I wasn't really sure what I was going to make of this shoe when I got it, and I can say that I have been absolutely surprised and almost astounded with how well this thing rides and how much I enjoy running in it. Maybe because it's different as well, because it does have a different ride, and because you feel things when you're running that maybe you don't normally feel, but this thing's just really impressive. So the ground feel is great. The other thing as well worth mentioning, the space in the toe box, along with, to be frank, how the whole upper fits around your foot. The fit, fantastic. It fits true to size, extraordinarily comfortable. So you've got this really comfortable upper, you've got a really comfortable midsole, and which by default, the fact there is no outsole becomes the outsole as well. You've great feel under your foot. The whole thing, it feels blooming impressive. It really is. I was worried about durability, not having an outsole, which I know I've now mentioned several times, but so far this thing holds up, or it is holding up really well. It's not wearing adversely. Yeah, I've picked up a bit of mark and dirt and what have you, but you can do it on any shoe. It does seem to be pretty well made. You know, it's all holding up and looking good. One thought that did occur to me, because I did think, oh well, you know, it doesn't have an outsole. This is all going to, you know, wear away more quickly than it would do compared to a shoe that does have your traditional outsole. And then it dawned on me that I've had many shoes where I've run miles and miles and miles and miles and miles in them, and the rubber outsole has been fine and intact, but to be frank, the cushioning has flattened out, so it almost didn't matter how good a job the outsole had done. If the midsole has lost all of its squidge and its cushioning and it's no longer nice to run in, don't really matter how good the outsole is it? You're not going to go running in a shoe which is completely flattened out and is no longer giving you the cushioning and the ride that you want from your running shoe. And we all know that on average an EVA midsole, what's that going to last? 250, 300 miles, maybe more if you're lucky. Maybe it depends how much you weigh and how your foot strike, but most manufacturers would suggest on their websites 250, 300 miles, and then the EVA is going to start to go down. Yes, on certain shoes that use different types of materials, like an Adidas Ultra Boost, that type of midsole should last longer, or Saucony Everrun and things like that. But my point is that you can have a hard-wearing outsole which can last however long, a long time, but that's not the only thing that's important to how the shoe wears. So maybe not having an outsole, maybe it's not such a big deal. I don't know. All I can say is I did think it was a big deal and I was wrong. Because now I've run in this, I've kind of become a bit of a convert to the Lunar Glide, because it is a hugely impressive running shoe. It's comfortable, it's good, it's enjoyable. Like I say, it's blooming witchcraft. Things that aren't so great, well, there's nothing particularly obvious. One thing I will say is, with these little pod things, if you get a pair of these, you will get into the habit of getting like a flat-headed screwdriver or something like that and pinging stones out, because little stones get trapped in here. In fact, I've got a couple there which need to be pinged out. So that's mildly annoying. I know I am nitpicking now, it's not a particularly big deal, but it's just a thing that you do with this sole, which I have never done on another shoe, but on this one you do it a little bit. Otherwise, yeah, there's not really, I mean, it looks great. I think it looks great. Comes in different colours. I like the look of this. I'm gushing, aren't I? Really? Yeah, it's because this is a real crackerjack of a shoe. I really enjoy running in it. I also sometimes wear it casually. It's just great. And it's a stability shoe. To have this sort of simple, clean, elegant look with a great ride, with stability, it's impressive. Yeah, kudos to Nike for, yeah, just very impressive. If you hadn't realised already, I think this is a 5-star shoe. You probably guessed that though, haven't you? Yeah, nothing more to say. I think I've said it all. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.